Hello, folks. Welcome to Fandango Friday. I was not going to do Fandango Friday because I figured I had to go to Knights of Columbus meeting last night, and I was going to be so tired. But interestingly, I woke up this morning and I said, you know what? I don't feel tired. I might be able to do Fandango Friday tonight, but I'll see. And then at work, I was commenting on not being tired. Now, tonight, I am going to do a rum taste challenge. We have from the Northeast over there in New England, Thomas Meadow 75 with Boston and Chicago somewhere a reason. Now, and then we have down in the Southeast, so we have the Northeast. And also in the Northeast, we have the wizard Ozzie Bucco from the Bucco. Sorry, it looks like Bucco to me.
Named after beef Heindshank. It's an Italian entree.
Okay. The wizard Ozzie Bucco from the independent wrestling circuit world, and James P. Madonna couldn't be here tonight, so Ozzie Bucco's taking his place. And then from I know James P. Madonna had some other stand-ins. He had one time Emerald Mystic took his place, and another time Krampus showed up. So
this is the Halloween special because Halloween is Thursday, I believe.
Right, and James can't always make it, so he has some metaphysical people that show up. Now we have Georgia Beer Reviews down on the southeastern end of the United States, one of the original 13 colonies, Georgia. So we got Massachusetts, New Jersey, Georgia, 13 colonies. I'm from one of the later additions, Louisiana, former French, and then Spanish, and then French territory again, and then the U.S. territory. So I'm here, but I'll tell you an interesting story, and then James P. James, he's not even here. And then George B. Reviews is going to tell us an interesting story. You see, I'm wearing a cap, right? See that?
Yeah.
The original cocktail in a can. I was in a store today, and Jonathan's from Richmond telling us hello. Hey, Jonathan. I was in an
You can add in here if you want.
On now.
It's not a Fandango Friday without Drewski in the chat.
It was very rainy today. It stopped raining, thank goodness, but it was very rainy. So I was walking in the rain, and this guy that works for Miller, a distributor, he's wearing his Miller Lite cap and all. He says, hey, come see. And usually he just tells me if I see him, hello, you know. Come see, Ronald. I said, what? And he says, I don't want to say his name because he might be funny about that. But he says, his father's a radio host, by the way. But he says, I need to talk to you about something. I said, okay. So he takes me aside and he says, you know how you did those videos for the original Club Tales? I said, yes, I did quite a few. He said, well, the people in Canada were watching. I'm talking about the Club Tales company, Geloso Beverage Group, was watching the videos. He said last week they were just messing around on YouTube, maybe at lunch or something. And they said, let's see if anybody did any videos for our products. So they kept seeing my face repeatedly. So,
yeah.
Dear sirens. So anyway, sound like a bad wreck. So they have a representative who works down here promoting their products in Louisiana, all right? And he was telling this Miller guy, because Miller distributes their products. He said, man, we'd like to find this guy. And then the Miller guy says,
it's right there.
Well, I know him. I know where he is. And they said, what? They said, what? He said, yeah, I can contact him. So they came looking for me yesterday, Thursday, but they didn't find me. So this was the man from Canada was looking for me from Club Tales. So they were disappointed. So then today, the Miller guy came in and he said, well, can I take a picture with you to prove to them that I found you and that you're not like made up? Like they didn't really believe him, I don't think. They were saying, yeah, sure, you know him. He said, no, I really do. So he made me stand there with him and he said, wear this Club Tales hat so I could prove it, this cap. I said, okay. So he took the photo and then he said, you can keep the cap. So I said, well, just goes to show you. And then the Miller guy said, hey, if I bring you this new Miller beer that hasn't been released yet, would you review it? And I said, well, sure, thanks. You know, I didn't even know about it. So anyway, I think that's an interesting story. Shows you that gets out there, right?
2 thumbs up. Ding, 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 ding.
Ding, 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 ding.
So I was really pleased with the club tales so far. Now, John Neely, you have an interesting story.
Yeah, well, I mean, not as interesting as yours, but you know, I was working a day and I was out in Roscoe, Georgia, kind of out in the middle of nowhere, and I stopped at a gas station on the way home, and I found this really cool variety pack of beer that I'd never heard of or seen before, and I was so excited, and I picked it up, and it only cost me, before I show it, it only cost me $10.99. I don't know if it was a sale price or what, but I guess it was just released for this year. This is the Elysian Pumpkin Pack.
Oh, bazam.
And it's got 4 different pumpkin beers in it.
Wow.
It's got the Great Pumpkin Imperial Pumpkin Ale, the Night Owl, which I've had and we'll post a review on very soon. I thought it was excellent. One of the best pumpkin beers I've ever had. It's got the Punkachino, which is the one that I'm drinking tonight, which is a coffee pumpkin ale. I can honestly say I've never had a coffee pumpkin beer.
Wow.
And it's got the Dark of the Moon, which is a pumpkin stout. So $10.99 for this 12-pack of crafty pumpkin brews. So
That's
That's
a great story. I hope it shows up around here.
I guarantee.
Now, Ozzie Bucco, the
All
wizard.
right. First of all, Ozzie Bucco is the guiding
Bucco,
light.
I'm sorry, Bucco.
Century. All you millennials out there, God only knows you need a guiding light. First of all, I just want to come clean and say the Wizard Ozzie Bucco is not metaphysical, because I was the manager of East Coast Professional Wrestling World Heavyweight Champion, the nephew of Arn Anderson, Andrew Anderson, and he was the star of the Golden Globe award-winning movie with Mickey Rourke and Marissa Tomei called The Wrestler, and it's on YouTube. So Ozzie Bucco is not metaphysical like Krampus and the Emerald Mystic. He worked in the business, so to speak, and I'm very happy to be here for the Halloween edition of Fandango Friday, even though I would like to throw a boulder at the computer monitor right now because it's going crazy. The demons have sabotaged the Wizard Ozzie Bucco and Fandango Friday.
By the way, when I say metaphysical, you are a wizard, and now you're being attacked by esoteric spirits.
By esoterics, and Eric has got an interesting stein in his hand. I think I can make it out.
Yeah, the beer is not what the beer
Eric's
is
about to have nervous breakdown. He's about to have a nervous breakdown, so I'm going to go to him now. Go.
that's Ozzie Bucco.
Now Eric is the one with the skinny long stein.
That's what.
Go, Eric.
The Schlongstein.
Oh wait, sorry, I hit the wrong button. Sorry about that.
Ozzie Bucco.
This
is the beer stein from that beer, but we're not drinking that beer. I thought this was appropriate enough, anyways. By the family that inspired the sound of music, the Von Trapp Brewing Company. A little of Austria, a lot of Vermont, Stowe, Vermont. That's their Dunkel, which is obviously a dark lager, 22 IBUs, 5.7%. The website doesn't tell you a whole bunch. It just tells you can have this thing year round, and it's a delicious, creamy dark beer. I think this was a great glass to put that in, sort of a dark beer.
Dunkel Donuts.
Yeah, it definitely has more of a mahogany color in some light, but it is dark brown otherwise outside of some light. With a very tan, frothy, almost kind of creamy with some big bubbles and small ones. There's a rocky bubble right there. The smell on this Dunkel dark lager is very roasty, as one would guess. It's got some caramel maltiness to it. It's got a decent amount of some graininess to it. There's a grainy complexion there. There's a little bit of dark fruiting element to the nose, and I'm trying to discern what kind of like nuttiness I'm getting. Maybe nuts. I don't know, walnuts. What are those? Those are like those varietals of nuts you get during the December holiday season. You crack those things.
Brazil nuts?
Brazil nuts.
Yeah,
Brazil nuts.
that's what I'm thinking of. Brazil nuts.
We used to call them something else. We used to call them something else in Louisiana, but
Yeah, my grandparents had the same nickname, but we won't mention it on the air.
They're nutty. Okay, so let's try this. I think this expired on 10/9, and I just bought this pack recently, so it's not too old.
They're high in selenium. You can only have several. Otherwise, you can get selenium toxicity from those Brazil nuts.
I've heard that before.
Yeah,
Pretty nice. This is your basic Dunkel dark lager. It is very crisp, clean, ultra refreshing. It's got the cleanness of a lager you would expect with that yeast strain. Definitely a lot of roasty notes to it, and those toffee caramel notes are in there. Some of this nuttiness is still in there. There's almost like a pseudo smokiness to it, but I think it's more on the roasty side. But there is a little bit of that towards the finish. Crisp, clean, ultra refreshing on the light side of medium.
I love the word pseudo.
Maybe a little, because I think the roastiness is making me think that there's a little bit of smokiness in it. But maybe there is a little bit of smokiness in there. You can put this crap down without effort to your body, unless you drink a whole bunch of them. So maybe a little bit creamy from the head. So I'm gonna shut up and keep drinking. So far, it's okay.
why are you calling it crap?
No, it's not crap. No.
You mean this drink, this item?
Yes, this. You could put this crap down. Yes.
Yeah, don't say
I
that.
get you. Yeah.
Yeah, don't say bad things about the product. All right, now we're going to Ozzie.
Yeah. Now he's gone.
Ozzie Bucco, going once.
Go.
Yeah. Bucco, you got it right there, Chief. You got it right there.
I was about to give you 8. I was about to give you 8 count. All right, Ozzie Bucco.
Dunkel Donuts.
That would be a good name for a beer.
Now the screen is straightening out more.
Okay.
It besmirched my professionalism by doing it at the beginning because I couldn't see too much. Anyway, I have.
Oh boy.
Oh crap.
They called you prima donna. That's not nice.
Got it. Yeah. Yeah, your Stein is very horn-like, like a Viking. Like a Viking. All right, I have here.
Oh boy.
Very schlong-like too, there, Eric.
Okay.
I have here Johnny Walker Black Label, a 12-year-old blended Scotch because it's not a single malt, like the Exorcist Bishop Brian always tells me. I love single malts. Anyway, report.
Wrong glass, sir.
That's a famous old Scotch there. That double. I've never had any Johnny Walker except a little taste of the red label once.
Okay, now Dunkin' Donuts got a liquor license. They would serve that Dunkel Delight. Anyway, all right. Believe it or not, this wine glass is thick, and it came from the Dollar Tree. Believe it or not.
It looks demonic.
And I don't think this one would break in the freezer.
Black labels.
Ozzie Bucco, have you ever had that whiskey before?
This is the very first time I have ever had Johnny Walker products.
Wow.
Now the other ones, the Glen Silver, that was a blended whiskey. That was a small family-owned business, and the one with the wedge-shaped bottle, that I've had that, but no, I never had this one before. Now, James told me he found the 12-year-old Buchanan blended Scotch whiskey, a small bottle, which was really a good find.
I like that one a lot.
Yeah, he could do that another time.
Yeah, he told me that too.
Yeah, either on a Maniacal Monday or one of those miscellaneous shows.
I don't like it, Ronnie. I don't like it at all.
Krampus Eric. Now, I'm going to...
Better than Eric, you said.
definitely has a nice aroma. It definitely has the smoke of peat. Unless somebody hollers and says, it ain't peat, for Pete's sake. No.
Oh, right. You know,
Not
remember that. Okay.
And I like it. Come on. Hey, it kind of has the ultra smoothness that I experienced when James told me all about the Paddy's Irish whiskey and how smooth that was in comparison to the Jamesons or the Bushmills. The smoothness. This is quite pleasant, even though I think it's the lowest end of the Johnny Walker products, right?
No, the red label is the lowest.
That's like the Boone's Farm of Johnny Walker,
Right.
or the Ripple or Thunderbird or whatever.
Yeah.
Oh, Thunderbird. Oh shit.
The night train. Okay.
I'm on a night train. Yep.
I wasn't expecting a Fandango tonight. What a pleasant surprise! Well, it's Friday. That's when we Fandango. But
yeah, but you know, I was saying I wasn't going to do it because I was going to be tired.
It's a mild Fandango. You know, like the proctologist is really greasing love. You know.
All right. So we move on.
Later on, I'm going to try to do a hardcore Fandango with Mr. Mike Hilton.
Mike Hilton. Yeah, that's going to be one that they're going to call it Channel Band Fandango Friday. All right.
Pretty much. Or get out of my group Fandango Friday. Anyways.
Well, it'll be on YouTube. So let YouTube.
Yeah, it's going to be on Progressive. Yeah. All right. So.
Right.
Sorry to interrupt.
The Fandango.
I know how people like to, you know, live the straight and narrow in this food community. No, not you guys. I mean, even the other, you know, food groups. They're like really rigid, you know, about their rules. But anyway, I like it. It's got like I said, I would definitely get it again. I mean. I've had it's definitely better than the cheapo family-owned blended Scotch whiskeys that I've had, the small companies. Now I know why Johnny Walker has the reputation that it has.
What the hell, Island Natty?
Mother's storage.
That doesn't
In
sound
words, a broom closet? Are you trying to say he's living in a broom closet?
Sounds like it.
No.
Only on Fandango Friday, people.
Naughty Pine. I used to sleep in a Naughty Pine basement apartment at one time. You know how the Italians have those basement apartments. You know, basement dwellings. Anyway, this is excellent. Now I could say, you know, it pays to buy the best sometimes, and the reputation lives up to it. So I'll definitely get it again, and I'll definitely, it's going to get an A+. I'll give it. I'll compared to the single malts, which probably, you know, blow this away without a doubt, and Johnny Walker Blue probably exceeds this. I give it a solid 95 in comparison to the other Scotch whiskeys that I've had.
Yeah.
Nice.
Oh, good.
I'm glad you like it. I'll be curious to try it one day. I was laying in bed last night thinking about Johnny Walker Blue Label. True story. Now I'm going to turn it over to Georgia Beer Reviews.
Georgia.
Thank you, James.
All right.
Thank you, James. I mean, what am I saying? I must have gone mad. Thank you, the wizard Ozzie Bucco, for giving us.
Yeah, I had to straighten out that James guy. I had a good serious talk with him. He needs my guidance, and I gave it to him. Anyway, that was Georgia Beer Reviews.
I appreciate you doing that for him, and I Appreciate you giving us a rundown of that fine.
Little sarcasm. Hey, what's the date on your product? Yeah, let me write it down. Hey, Eric, what's the date on your bottle? I gotta write it down too. All right.
10-9-2019. All right.
The Elysian Pumpkino has a best by date right on the label. It says experienced by May 11th, 2020. So very fresh.
Nice. Very nice.
That's a long time.
And of course, I'll show it again. This is right out of the Elysian Pumpkin pack, $10.99. I don't think it's normally priced that, but I got it for $10.99. If it is normally priced that, go out and buy it because my goodness, that's an incredible deal.
Buy that so fast.
Yeah, the Pumpkino coffee pumpkin ale, which I've never had a coffee pumpkin beer before. It's 6% alcohol by volume. Not sure what the IBUs are. Never had it before. I believe it was just introduced this year. The Night Owl has been around for years and years, or I'd say years and years, maybe just a few years. But these other beers, I think, are for the most part new. I've never seen any of these other beers that are in here, including this one. It poured with like a 2.5 finger head. It looks like a stout almost. When you hold it up to the light, you get a little bit of some brownish hues going around the bottom of the glass, but it's very, very dark. It looks almost like a stout. The aroma, pumpkin pie, mostly pumpkin pie, actually. You're getting the pumpkin pie spices right up front with a little bit of that coffee in the background, but it's not as coffee forward as I thought it would be. A lot of times when you get these coffee beers, particularly the dark beers like this, they seem to overdo it with the coffee, and the coffee is very, very prevalent, and you don't really get a lot of those other flavors or aromas. With this one, it's very nicely balanced. So I'm very hopeful for the flavor. Cheers. Happy Fandango Friday to everybody. And
cheers to John Haley in Georgia. That's a beautiful looking product you got there.
Right, it is.
Man, the Night Owl was incredible. I haven't posted the official review yet, but sneak peek, since it is Fandango Friday, I gave it a 97 out of 100. I thought it was one of the best pumpkin beers that I've ever had. This one is, the first impression is excellent. You're getting the pumpkin pie notes, a little bit of coffee, but it's in the background. It's not the first thing that I'm picking up on. The body is medium. The carbonation is medium. The 6% alcohol is masked exceptionally well. It's nice and roasty in the middle as well. You're getting some nice dark toasted bread notes. The finish is relatively crisp because of that medium carbonation. Semi-dry. It is refreshing. And you could drink a few of these at 6% alcohol. This is one of the better pumpkin beers that I've had. Also, I've been very, very impressed with the Elysian pumpkin beers that I've had. I've got two more. I've got the Imperial Pumpkin and then the Dark of the Moon Pumpkin Stout. I'm really excited about that one. That one may make an appearance on Stout Sunday. Not quite sure yet. But
Dark of the
excellent,
Moon.
excellent beer. If you want me to go ahead and give a rating, I will. If not, come back around. I know this is Fandango Friday. Things operate a little differently, but I will say that this is an excellent pumpkin beer, and that little bit of coffee in the background is nice, but it's not too overpowering. It's primarily a pumpkin beer with the coffee being in the background, which I absolutely love about this beer.
Man, that sounds like something I would like to try so much.
You would like it, Ron. Absolutely.
Now,
It's a sophisticated craft beer, unlike these ham and eggers out there with their cheap peasant beverages.
right.
Poor peasants.
Right, you're right, Ozzie. You're right. Island Addy, I sure have heard of that, and I am awaiting its arrival on November 1st. I can't wait.
I'm still waiting for the Budweiser Black Jim Beam Black Lager to make it to my area. Robert the Whiskey Scout posted he bought a 6-pack, I think about 2 weeks ago. I still can't find it. It's not here.
I've already had it twice, man. Okay, now
you son of a
Just Budweiser.
you son of a 2 bits and trash. Now,
All right, you for Chief Justice, some old bitch.
now,
well, I didn't say that.
No.
makes me so mad I could tear a tissue and crush a grape. Now, I have tonight, for your viewing pleasure,
Ooh.
Aristocrat, because I'm going through the tournament. Y'all know when I do these rums and whiskeys, trying to get the glare off, I do a tournament, a round robin tournament. Aristocrat has been performing very well. Johnny Nilly said he used to use this product as a bartender. And
the Aristocrat, the entire Aristocrat line of products, the clear ones at least, the clear liquors. That's what we call the well liquors, the cheap stuff, the house stuff.
The house liquor. So I have this.
Right.
I paid $6.99 for the liter bottle.
Jesus.
At Savannah discount.
Wow.
At Savannah discount. And then I have this competitor, the infamous, in my experience, Ron Rio, that I bought. I also bought this at in Louisiana, but I bought it at a super discount store, and it was $6.99 for the liter. This came out in 1975. The Aristocrat, that company was founded in 1933. Groskuth Distillers. So the Aristocrat's bottled in Kentucky, and the Ron Rio across the river in Missouri. Okay, now that's where the similarities end really, because, well, the color is the same, clear. They call it white rum or silver, but it is neither silver nor white. Well, maybe it has a silver with the light hitting it, but it's clear. Now, this is going to be fast. I'm going to smell one. Oh, smells like Roundup and rancid sugarcane stalks and grass, weeds specifically. That's the Ron Rio. It's the nastiest smelling thing this side of a garbage dump. Now here is the Aristocrat. Smells like light molasses, sugar, charred oak, perhaps a little pepper, spice, and wood. It's a rum that smells like, well, you know, rum.
Yeah, what you know about that?
And this smells like danger. Now,
Fandango.
like impending danger. Now I'm going to taste it.
Fandanger Friday.
Wow. Danger Friday.
How could this be on the market? It tastes like grass. It tastes like rancid sugar. It tastes like everything bad. This thing it's like, oh
shit. I mean, pardon my French.
And I'm telling y'all, if you came to this house like John and Nilly did once, and you tasted this Ron Rio, you would maybe think it's worse than I'm describing it. You would be totally shocked and disgusted. Now, the Aristocrat is fine. It can go toe to toe, in my opinion, with the Captain Morgan White. There is only one Captain Morgan. There's only one Captain Morgan in this house. It can go toe to toe with the Bacardi Superior and all of that. So, is there a winner here? Yeah, the one that tastes good.
Oh.
$6.99 a liter. Thank you. That's a winner. This thing here is $6.99 a liter, and it's about $6 too expensive.
So no amount of money is worthy of that.
If they paid you to take it, that might not even be a good deal.
Take it up though.
If they paid you tasted this, you would not drink it for $6.99. Now, I'll be careful when I'm snorting booze. Okay. Yeah, so what is all that noise? So that's it.
I'm not typing this time.
Yeah. Aristocrat is the clear winner, and Ron Rio is the total abject failure of the rum taste challenges. It has won exactly no contests, and it will not win any. And on an even worse note, I still have 90% of the bottle left to drink. So I have a whole lot of sadness coming up. Captain Bailey says, dump it down the drain. But I haven't gotten sick drinking it that I know of. And I figure, what the hey, I could keep just making videos where I slag on it and talking about how horrible it is, because it's truly horrible. Let's see. So here we are on the Fandango Friday. I don't know where Harry Meadows from England is. He was talking about 2 months ago saying, I want to join Fandango Friday, but he never did. One time he wanted to join, and he said, I'm waiting in the basement. I never noticed, because I wasn't really sure.
What's his name?
Her grandson. And
I am not typing, Ronnie, as my hands are up in the air right now.
Ron hates background noise, says Ronnie. I know. Ronnie's
I am, but now I'm not.
But it's no big deal. Okay, so
I'm not typing, people. Shit.
Not typing, people.
I've heard worse background noises than typing sounds.
Yes. Now, Ron is my favorite reviewer, says Magic Sticks, followed by Radar and James P. Madonna.
Radar.
Radar, you know, at Kentucky Beer Reviews, Ron's friend David comes in. David, yeah, he might come do some more reviews.
Radar. Duh.
Well, James has to mind his P's and Q's. He's semi-censored, unless he does his own show. But yeah.
Right, on his own show, it can be total progressive discussions, outlandish.
It could be mayhem. It could be mayhem.
Total mayhem. Yeah. Now, David, thank you, David, because he brought me the first bottle of Budweiser's Black Lager, which he bought at Mathern's, and then we tried it, and we you gotta watch the video. And then
All right.
I did a solo review, and you gotta watch the video. And then this coming week, there's Beer Hound. There's our friend from California who I watch his channel all the time, as he very well knows, and I always make kind comments like I do on everybody's channel. This Wednesday coming up on Wild Card Wednesday, but it won't be a wild card. I have to tell you this. People, I put the vote up there and people voted, and they wanted to examine Founders beers, because we've had so much enjoyment drinking Founders beers over the years. So
no, Roger.
It was they could find Founders.
Oh, you can. It's very common, and some of it is not even expensive. Actually, like the everyday IPA, you can get it in a tall can and be like, what?
I don't know the genetic makeup of my employees. That means you should not buy my product. What the hell is wrong with people?
Well,
that's where we're at with Founders, people. That's all you need to know.
We need to make a rush to judgment. I think that's a rule that everyone should follow in life, that you should always make a rush to judgment, especially if you don't really have any facts. So that's a lesson we've learned from the past few weeks.
Yeah, but Eric knows the finer things in life. I trust his opinion. He knows all the crackery breadiness.
That's what's fun about you.
I always took up for Eric with that because
crackery breadiness.
I use that terminology myself, so I
understand.
Now, Johnny, you look like you want to say something.
No, I'm listening. I was just thinking about the Founders. The Founders thing always gets a little under my skin. I just, if you like the beer, fine. If you don't like the beer, fine. But this whole the thing with the race, it's been going on for a while now. I think it's a bunch of malarkey, and I think that it's an attempt to sabotage the reputation of Founders, because a lot of these other breweries realize they make great beer and they are threatened by it. I'm just sick of hearing about it, honestly. That's all. That was probably what the face was that you saw.
Oh, okay. Now, does that mean you are?
Yeah, I like Founders beer. I really, really like Founders beer. I think they make some excellent stuff, and I don't want people to be swayed one way or another. Whether or not they want to drink Founders. I think you drink it, and if you like it, fine. If you don't like it, that's fine too. But don't be persuaded by all this crap in the media.
He's right. Where is John? I don't see his image.
He's here. Oh,
Rum Reviews.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Hello, people.
Sorry. I forgot that I was linked. I forgot. I don't understand. I'm not really used to using this yard of streams so much. So I'll forget. Like, I'm just talking and I'll see my face and I'm not thinking about it. So
the owners of this company are not shy about promoting their professional version. Every chance they get, they shove it in your face.
Now, Ronnie, you should be on here. Ronnie says he doesn't believe in racism. It offends me. And I'm sure it offends all of us. And
does that mean people who are into thoroughbred horse racing? Could you be racist of thoroughbred racers or greyhounds in Miami? Racing?
or steeplechase. Now, talking about not believing in things. Ronnie said he doesn't believe in racism, and we don't, of course. And John Lennon said, I don't believe in Elvis, and I don't believe in Beatles.
Hey, Eric's got the handlebar. He's putting the wax to his mustache. I like that.
I just twist.
Like a barbershop quartet dude, like a vaudevillian. Look at that. That looks great.
The band Bush once said, I don't believe that Elvis is dead, but that doesn't mean he's not dead, right?
Jim Morrison, they say, might be still alive.
He's running around in France somewhere.
Yeah. Right.
Or Christmas Island, maybe. Like what?
So, well, let's see. I have to get off of this at the top of the hour due to World Series related issues and
Go
the
Nats.
Washington Nationals shocking my world.
I love it.
Nobody thought they'd
Literally a
be
week ago
with the playing at home for Game 3.
Listen,
Nobody.
A week ago, if you would have told me Washington's going to win the first 2 games, I'd have ridiculed you and said you obviously know nothing about the game of baseball. But then,
wasn't Big Frank Howard with the Washington Senators before he retired?
I would have been wrong.
I think he was the big dude, like bigger than Boog Powell. Frank
The big
Howard.
unit?
Yeah, I think he was. And the Senators became the Minnesota Twins.
Subject Zero, you are so right.
I
Yeah, I
agree.
I thought they became
We're going to
Expos.
talk about this. Hold on. Yes, the Washington Senators started in 1901 with the American League becoming a major league. Then in 1960, they moved 61. They moved to Minnesota, became the Twins. Then they replaced them with a new team called the Senators. Same name, same uniform colors, different team. Then they moved in 1972 to Arlington and became the Texas Rangers. And then in 2005, the Montreal Expos moved to Washington and became the Nationals. So it's a complicated story. And then actually the Senators are James P. I mean, I'm so.
Listen, you're making me nervous. Look, I'm spazzing out here.
Holy shit.
No, the W is the same. That's why I kept on going like this. The logo on the cap, the W.
Right.
Yeah.
I would like to see the Rays go to the World Series. No, interestingly,
What are you doing, Ozzie Bucco? What the hell?
Interestingly,
Enthusiastic, Thomas Metal Eric.
Interestingly,
The big
what Ozzie Bucco was talking about, the Senators, up until 1956, the Senators were called the Nationals. So from 1901 to 1956, the Senators were called the Nationals. And the Senators was the Nationals' nickname. In other words, the nickname of the nickname. So then they decided to use the nickname as the real name. So it's very complicated.
Well, the real Washington Senators, please stand up.
What if a team was called the nicknames, or what about? There's no insect a baseball team named after insects.
Oh, that's a horrible taste.
Like the Gnats. The poor Gnats. Talk about racism. Look at the Gnat. Nobody cares about it.
Right. There's Backwoods Billy. Oh, look, we have a big celebrity audience tonight. Now, let me tell you right now. Backwoods Billy has been researching the craft beer industry for some time now. He has a lot of insights on that.
You like 20-minute beer reviews, Backwoods Billy?
Not 3 in
You
a row.
love drunken
Not
ones.
3 in a row.
I don't think Eric's ever going to let that one die now that I almost feel bad for drunken one now at this point.
Come on, we need a rating for your pumpkin beer from Ronnie S.
My pumpkin beer. Well, it's a 95 out of 100. The coffee's not too strong. It's got that nice pumpkin pie flavor. It's not too heavy, not too alcoholic either, as our good buddy Ronald Terrio would say. I will admit I use that term on my beer reviews all the time, and I got it from that guy right there. I don't even know if it's an actual word, but it sounds good. So,
I know. I always co-opt the terms I use, like
Hillbilly?
because you are a communist. I did coin the term natural father.
You did, yeah. I think I've used that one too on one of my reviews.
So now I hear people around the world saying, I'm drinking Natty Daddy, the natural father. I'm like, I know who came up with that word.
You're more well known, and you're more famous than you might think, Ron.
You're more famous than Louisiana itself.
I am. People don't say they're going to go on a trip to Louisiana anymore. They say they're going to go on a trip to Louisiana Beer Reviews.
The Louisiana Purchase.
Yeah.
On the world market buying all them beers.
Now,
right.
But anyway, I can't. That's the price of celebrity and fame, and just what can I do? I'll probably have Kanye West coming over here talking about his new record, and I mean, we'll talk. And we'll read comic books.
With all the hard liquor you have, you should really open up that private Cajun club. You know what I mean? Where things happen behind closed doors, because you got so many bottles.
I have a club. This is an open invitation club, and people can come over and read comic books and try different products with me.
That sounds fun. Damn.
It is fun. Now, Ronnie S says I'm taking a trip to Southeast. He's coming on down to Southeast.
Nice, Ronnie. You're closer than the rest of us, probably.
Now we have 16 minutes left. You broached the subject of founders. Thomas Metal 75, Massachusetts Beer Reviews, Eric Fraunfelder, Empire. What do you want to say about it? Go ahead.
About my beer or Founders?
Founders. We heard a good amount.
I don't really. I was very late into any of this game hearing about Founders. I only heard it from all you other people on Google Hangouts and such. But I can't. I mean, it's difficult because that guy might represent the entirety of Founders as a brewing company. However, I don't think he represents the individual people that work for that company, nor does he speak for the actual product that gets put into the damn glass. Pardon my French. So,
wait. What are you talking about?
Founders.
No, but I mean, who's that guy? I mean, you're talking
that head brewer guy that did any of this Twitter tweeting nonsense, saying he doesn't know the DNA of them.
You're all mixed up. You're all mixed up. You're thinking about that. You're talking about the comments about racial.
He's all shook up like the Elvis song.
Isn't that what was wrong with Founders?
No.
Anybody's boycotting Founders Brewing Company right now?
No, you're gonna have to go do some more background research.
Wait, am I getting this wrong, John?
Yes.
You're talking about what happened about a year or so ago, where they were talking. But it's all a bunch of BS in my opinion.
That's what I'm trying to say. Yeah, I don't care.
Well, I know exactly what you're talking about, Eric. That was what I was referring to when I first started. I'm saying this has been going on for far too long. The whole people attacking Founders. It all kind of is a continuation, maybe, of that, but it's. I don't know. I think it's BS. I think people are threatened by Founders, and it's.
I think it goes back. Yeah, I think it goes back to when they got bought out partially by San Miguel. That's when the Get Founders movement started, and
that's when a lot of the racist stuff that Eric's talking about was first brought to light. Whether or not half of it was even true, I don't know. I mean,
the thing that I read about when I look up anything about Founders Brewing Company and any controversy they're undergoing right now is that they're facing criticism over some leaked transcription of a deposition in a racial discrimination lawsuit. That's what I'm hearing about all the time. So that's what people are talking about right now. But in general, I don't really care, because if they're making good beer, I'm going to try it. I have to assume that everybody's their own free man at this Founders Brewing Company, and they are free to think and do whatever they want. And wherever the controversy stems from, it just I can't say that one person at this brewery is speaking for everybody else.
I'll give you a quick rundown. Let me give you a quick rundown. You're not really on point with that. Okay.
But if you go on the internet and you search for Founders controversy, that's the only thing they talk about on the internet right now. That's the only thing they talk about.
I know. Look, let me give you a quick background. All right. They got bought out partially by San Miguel. People were mad. Then they got fully bought out by San Miguel. People were madder. All right. I didn't really care as long as they made good products, you know, so whatever. Now, that's part of the beer, wine, and liquor world buyouts. Okay, whether you like it or not. Ronnie S., are you all right tonight? Okay, now, exactly. So now, here's the thing. There was a man, there was a guy who worked for Founders for a number of years. Last year, he got fired. The company said he was doing a bad job, poor job performance, and he got fired. The man decided to file a federal lawsuit saying that he had been suffering for years with outrageous racially discriminatory treatment from Founders. Not that he mentioned it, not that he bothered talking about it while he was working, but so he sued him and said he's gonna seek damages and all of this. Okay. Founders said it's a meritless lawsuit. We're not a racist company. He's just a bad employee who got fired. Now he's playing that card because he got nothing else to play. We got all the records on him of his bad job performance. So you say, who's right, who's wrong? I don't know. I don't work for Founders. I never even went to that place, and I don't know this guy that's suing him. Now, then about a week ago, they had pre-trial depositions, and some young guy who is not a brewmaster, simply like a manager at one of the brew pubs, they deposed him. And they started asking him a bunch of questions. I read the whole transcript. They were asking him questions, which were obviously leading questions, looking to entrap him the way I saw it. And he was very careful not to answer the questions. Now, the news reports was he said he didn't know if the guy was black, or he didn't know what the man's race was.
He was black enough.
Right. He didn't know if Barack Obama was a black man, but he actually never said any of that. You see, they twisted. He just said,
yes, the media really.
I read those things.
Went to town.
All he did was give evasive answers, basically, because he felt, you could tell the guy was intimidated. Most people would be very nervous if they're being deposed anyway.
Yeah.
I was reading that carefully, and it was obvious he felt like he was being set up so that the guy could say, aha, so you are an obvious evil racist man. So he was given evasive answers like I think I would have probably done, which I often do. But so then after that, it leaked out. And of course, the news media, Chicago papers say, oh, you know, oh, blah, blah, blah. And the defense lawyers for Founders said, that guy, the plaintiff, leaked it out because we didn't leak it out, and it's supposed to be secret, you know, until trial. So they said, well, he has no evidence that we're a racist company, so that's the only thing he has to stand on. So then I was seeing all these people who comment on this 29 hours a day, going on and on about it, like Rajay's Beer Ventures saying, the smoking gun, they really are a bad company. I'll never drink Founders again. Then all the other beer guys are saying, X to Founders, I hate them. They're racist. And then they said today they're going to shut down their Detroit brew house because of threats apparently to their employees. And so now all the people are out of a job. They're still going to put them. So maybe they can put them out of business, and all the people won't have jobs. And they'll say, we showed them. Power to the people, right on. We can shut you down if somebody makes an accusation against you, even with no evidence. Doesn't matter. You know, what difference does evidence make? And I kept hearing these people for a year saying, oh, that company had 2 copy machines, one white and one black. No, wait. The terminated employee said that.
Right.
I can accuse.
And I've heard.
I can accuse Ozzie.
I've heard bits and pieces of this. It's all a bunch of crap, and social media is running wild with it. And I truly do believe, I said it before kind of in jest, but I truly do believe it's a conspiracy by a lot of beer people, a lot of other craft breweries, a lot of beer, a lot of people that don't like Founders and that are trying to hurt the company. What they don't realize is they're affecting hardworking, blue collar people that this is their livelihood. I think it's messed up, and I think Founders makes great beer, and I would surely hate to see anything happen to Founders based on a bunch of malarkey.
It's not real. It's not really even. I don't think it's really even smart that the Washington Post publishes an article about what's going on, and in one of the sentences in the article, they say that this guy, they say he was black enough to become one of the first employees of color at Founders Brewing Company. Like, why did you even need to include that statement in your article? He was black enough to be a brewer. Like, who the hell cares?
Not a brewer. He just was
enough in this world give a crap enough.
People are very quick to point the finger and to make comments and stuff, but they don't think about it from the perspective of, hey, what if this was happening to me? How would I respond? Look at the evidence. Look at the stuff that's been presented. Ron's talking about the court and the deposition and all that. I mean, this is about as bad as it gets, and as low as it gets.
Very bad. Many low blows. And here is you see, and you're some people might say, why are you mentioning Rod J. Beer Venture? He's posting it on Facebook 29 hours a day, and
he wants to read it. So we are.
Here's the second thing that I don't feel bad about it, because he can come on here. He can come on to this channel and talk for 30 minutes uninterrupted. I've always made that offer. Any of y'all who got a mad on for Founders can come on this channel 30 minutes uninterrupted. Now, of course, there'll be a rebuttal, but
Marxism out of beer reviews. What are you talking about, Ronnie S?
He's just being Ronnie. Now, if you feeling strong, come on. Now, Ozzie, Bucco, you've talked to James P. Madonna in the past about the problem with neo-Puritanism and neoliberalism, and you say that there's a big problem with all this virtue signaling and all that. Or James P. Madonna has talked to you about that, right?
Well, neoliberalism, neoconservatives, neo seems to be very connected with fanaticism, with extremism. And as far as the liberals go, I personally refuse to walk on eggshells and worry about offending someone for speaking my mind. As long as it's based on facts, on proven facts, people should say what they feel. As long as it's it's not a malicious or with malicious intent. So there's a problem nowadays, where a good friend of mine, who's an administrator on Progressive Discussions Facebook group, is being unfairly placed in hot water because he said something gentlemanly in a nice way to a female coworker, and now, if the girl is not into him, sexual harassment. It's like we've become too thin-skinned in today's society. Too thin-skinned.
Right, but Ozzie, Bucco, now we have a situation where evidence isn't even necessary.
And people curl up like Eric's handlebar mustache. They curl up over every little thing.
Well, at least when my mustache curls up, it looks good.
So,
go ahead. I'm sorry, Ron.
No, I think
whatever.
I think Progressive Discussions is an outfit that's willing to battle against these type of cultural revolutionary cadres, because not you, Ozzie, Bucco, but James P. Madonna invited me to hang out about a week ago about the radical feminism and how it's causing all these problems,
Well, the ultra liberalism is what created that stupid, insane, all gender restroom in a university. I mean, come on, every pervert in creation will be slithering into that all gender restroom. I mean, who came up with that? Because people feel more equal, that they could take a dump and urinate with everybody.
Can I make a comment on what Backwoods Billy just said?
What did he say? He said, what did
he say? I only can and I only homebrew, drink local. I'm sure maybe you do that now, Billy, but there had to have been at some point where you're drinking other people's beers from even if it was local or from across the United States that got you into beer in the first place. So you can't really discredit, even if that was a part of your beer drinking history. That was probably an important part of your history of drinking beer, right?
Yeah. Hey, wait. I hate to cut this short, but I gotta go off in 2 minutes. I'm drinking eggnog.
I like to
Only Barnaby Jones drank milk at the bar.
My grandfather used to love Barnaby Jones on Sunday night.
Jedediah, his nephew, Jedediah.
Backwoods Billy said he'll be the first in line at the all-gender bathroom.
Yeah, wow.
A lot of trannies.
I'd be scared to walk in that thing. You never know what you might
That's
run
what
across.
tranny saying. Is that a plantain in your pocket, young man? Or are you happy to see me?
Now, Ozzie,
Yes, sir.
Bucco.
if you could get your people to talk to James P. Madonna's people,
Yes.
because I know there's a lot of negotiations have to go on back and forth. It's pretty complicated. Contracts have to be written up and all that. But Ronnie S. says that he would like to join James P. Madonna's progressive discussions.
Uh-oh.
I think James would love to have Ronnie S. as a co-host on the next live stream, as a urologist would say, stream show.
Clear and concise, Ronnie.
All right, so you get your people to talk to Madonna's people.
I'm just gonna tell Madonna, you put Ronnie S. on your show or else. That's it.
Madonna a virgin? Was she
Oh,
touched?
so he'll go along, he'll get a little intimidated and do it. Okay.
Yes, he will.
Ozzie Bucco, I'll say this.
Put a curse on him.
Right. Ozzie, okay. I want to thank John and Neely from Georgia for joining this event, let's call it. And Eric, who's making the Gabe face.
Eric,
Yeah, I'm gonna
And
give it to
Gabe, I want to call Gabe out. I'm going to call Gabe out right here live on the air. Gabe, you want to talk to me about beer? Why are you not joining the Hangouts? What has it been like?
how did Alex's show on oatmeal do? He talked for like 2 hours about oatmeal. Where's that?
I like to talk about oatmeal. You know, I know I like to talk about food products myself, but
Hey, look at that guy in a Quaker Oats box. He looks like George Washington. Oh no, he looks like Ben Franklin. It's got rosy cheeks. Oh, it's flaky. It's chewy.
He drinks Pennsylvania Dutch egg.
all right. Okay, I think James P. Madonna has been influencing you. Now, Bucco. Now, we're going to go off the air due to World Series related issues. The eggnog is good. The Pennsylvania Dutch, but I was listening to John Anil, and he told me that the Evan Williams is even better. And guess what's in my fridge? You guessed right.
Bush
A
Ice.
bottle of Evan Williams eggnog has never been opened. And Mathern's over here in this town has gotten a shipment of Zachariah Harris eggnog. Now, I don't know if that's any good, but it's $7.99.
I haven't had that, but I have had the Zachariah Harris Black Label bourbon, and I thought that was delightful. So I have a feeling it's probably pretty good.
So you would recommend, you would encourage me to buy it?
Yeah, if I ever see the Zachariah Harris eggnog, I would definitely pick it up because I'm sure it's going to be cheap. It's a budget brand anyway.
Yeah,
and I thought Evan Williams was excellent, so why not?
Oh, Ozzie?
No, I'm just saying, between Ronald J. and John Anilli, you are rest assured to get an education above all. Yeah, I like the organic steel cut oatmeal, but I got tired of hot cereal. I get the Trader Joe's high protein, low carb pancakes. Just add water. It's delicious from Trader Joe's or organic.
Trader Jose.
Yeah, but anyway, I digress. But you're getting an education. I mean, they might not go off the deep end. They might not be. You might not get madcap insanity and comedy, you know. But you'll get an education, which is good. That foundation of entertainment between guys like Eric up there.
I was going to say, invite Thomas Metal 75 in your group for a short controversy.
I'll be back at 8:30 p.m. Eastern time with God willing, Mr. Michael Hilton, who his sister is Paris Hilton, who I happen to see the video of Paris, by the way. On
How about that Nikki Hilton girl?
I happen to no, it wasn't YouTube, it was another. Paris stuff did a lot of private videos, but anyway.
Look,
Yeah.
with the green light on.
Look like olive oil. Now,
Ooh.
But Thomas Meadow, people want to know what is your score for the beer, please. Thank you.
Oh, this Dunkelweizen, this dark Dunkel beer is, and a lot of the Von Trapp beers get a lot of flack because they're just too standard and typical of the styles that they do. But that's why they're really great. This is a great example of that dark. It's a dark Munich style lager, according to Beer Advocate. I think they give out a lot of 93s. So yeah, that's exactly what I'm thinking on this guy too. I mean, it is stylistically to a T of what the style of the beer is supposed to be. If you're looking for the Von Trapp beers or this dark lager, Dunkel style dark lager to be anything more than that, you're looking at the beer in an entirely the wrong fashion. So I think it's a 93. It is world class for its style, bar none. So go get you some if you can.
All right. Well, so that's a good, most excellent score. So
you would love it. You would love that beer.
I'm sure I would.
Yeah.
I like most. What?
No, that Pump King. I just want to tell Eric, James really loved that Pump King Imperial Pumpkin Ale. Yeah, the company. Yeah, it was really exceptional.
Beer.
Pump King.
Tribute.
Okay. Pabst Blue Ribbon, no alcohol at Shreveport Walmart Wednesday. Oh, well. Wow. Oh, one more thing. Somebody's talking about one more thing we have to get off because the World Series is about to start. Ronald's talking about The Exorcist. Well, a lot of people don't realize The Exorcist was based on a real event. And I think Ozzie Bucco talked to James P. Madonna about that. And he knew that it was actually a real person that did happen in Silver Springs, Maryland, back in the 1940s. Are you aware of that, Ozzie Bucco?
Well, I'm aware of the young boy in St. Louis that where he was visiting his aunt, and his aunt was playing with the Ouija board, and the Ouija board did play a factor in opening up a portal in the house in St. Louis. I'm not familiar with.
Oh, wait. They got the treatment in St. Louis University, a Jesuit university. But he got infested, so to speak, when he was in Silver Springs, Maryland, because his aunt was involved in black magic, and she intentionally probably brought the Ouija board in there to try to
the brown acid at Woodstock.
She may have been in communication with demonic spirits. But
now they have a glow in the dark Ouija board. They sell it like it was a toy, like it was an innocent toy, but it's far from it. It opens up portals. From what I was told by the Exorcist Bishop Brian from Ghost Adventures, personally, from the Travel Channel, is the goodbye that's in the lower. I think it's in the lower right corner of the Ouija board. You have to say goodbye at the end because that closes the portal. If you don't say that, the portal remains open. But why
would Milton Bradley make that board?
Well, Milton.
It's Hasbro, actually. Hasbro. I can go to the Walmart right down the street, and Hasbro makes a Ouija board. It's sold at all.
Why would they make a Ouija board?
They do.
Weird stuff. And
you don't know who you're communicating with. See, a lot of these paranormal shows that are on now, not Ghost Adventures because they're pros. They say, "Oh, we're talking to so and so. Oh, we heard a little girl giggle."
Yeah, it's a nice guy. It's a guy. His name is Captain Howdy. Captain Howdy's nice.
Yeah, he might rape you in your sleep. What the?
Captain Howdy.
Howdy.
Well, demons can take any form. They're like shapeshifters. They can take any form they want.
Right. All right. Well, any last words?
Remember the Alamo.
This was fun. Another successful Fandango Friday in the books.
Yeah, yes. We got somebody trying to join, but we're leaving, Ron Rio.
Be back at 8:30 p.m. under Mega Life 21. Oh, there he is. So people are jumping on now.
Hey, Ron Rio, good to see you. Now we're getting off, man.
All right. Later, guys.
Hey, Ron Rio, if you join Progressive Discussions, that'll be a good hangout.
No, it'll be Fandango Friday after dark. It'll be uncensored Fandango Friday.
Yeah.
There you go.
That's coming up.
Let's do it right now.
From what I hear, that's coming up very soon. So get ready for a very troubling.
Is it that late?
All right. Take care, everyone. Have a good weekend. And don't Fandango your Friday.
Oh, we just did. Is he setting up shop? Maybe. Okay.